2025 Jones Beach 70.3 New York. This one's taking place September 20th this year. This one's classified as a bay swim, flat bike, and a flat run. I would have to agree with both of those last two. The high air temperature 81, low 65, average water temperature 65 as well. If you're looking at the little shots that they have up here, most people are in wetsuits because it was wetsuit legal last couple of years. The other thing that you need to know is weather can have a huge impact on this race. I know that there is a high 81 out there, but that doesn't mean that that is the case. There could be a cold front that comes through, could be rainy, could be windy. If that's the case, buckle up. It's going to be a tough race for you and everybody else there. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty details here. This is our swim taking place in Zacks Bay out here. Biggest thing that you're going to need to worry about is the weather, the wind out here. That's going to have more impact than the most things out here, depending on where the waves and things come from. But shouldn't have too much trouble out here. Biggest things that you need to worry about are, this is our transition right here, or right here. This is our finish line. This is our start over there, so you do have a little bit of a walk to get to the start, but nothing crazy at all. So make sure you plan into that in your morning procedures out here. Kicking off things right away, we have a shot out, and then we got a dog leg to the right out here. Anytime you see that, you'll know that this section right here is going to be busy, busy, busy on race morning. Your main goal is going to be to get out there as fast as possible within your means, right? Don't overdo it. You want to have other people drive the pace for you if possible, and you're just going to have to be in it for a little while. You're going to have to be in the washing machine for a little bit. That's no big deal. You know, it is what it is. After you get past this little mini turn over here, this straightaway should start to space people out a little bit more. Normally, when you see these two turns right here, everyone can kind of like bunch together. And this one, everyone kind of pulls apart out here. When you see these two turns out here, they are two left-hand turns. Do not overthink it. You swim out there, you turn left, off you go. Same thing, turn left, off you go. You'll find a lot of athletes turn and stop to sight, turn and stop to sight. So if you are comfortable at all with turning and maintaining swimming, you're going to find that you pass a lot of people or catch up to a lot of people out there, and it's going to be coming handy as you make your way along this straightaway over here. So after you make that second turn, if you turn left, keep going, turn left, keep going. After you hit that spot, hopefully you'll be able to catch up to a group that has swam away from it. If that's the case, they'll be able to pull you along over there. If you have had a rough start to the day over here, this is a great spot to kind of catch some ground on a lot of people without them really knowing it. All right. This section over here is a section that a lot of people really overdo, whether you had a rough start, slow start, whatever. For whatever reason, this section right here is one that a lot of people really, really mess up. They overdo. This is the second one right through here. So this long kind of straightaway is the flashing lights, the alert, watch out for your extra effort here. This will come up a little faster than you think on race day, so make sure you do your T1 check in your head a little bit earlier in the water out there. Transition not too far away at all if you think back to those shots that you had at the very beginning out here. Hopefully it'll roll through here. You can see the transition zone is pretty close to the water out there. It should be the next one out here. Right there. Right there. So that's our swim done and dusted. This is our bike. Fortunately, no bike aid stations listed out here yet. I'm sure that'll change in the next couple of weeks here. We are a little bit of ways away from the race, so totally understand that. Next thing that is the wind. All right, this is our swim right through here. So I'm going to zoom out now that I've let you know where that is out there. We're going to zoom out just a little bit more. So that's our swim. We're going to go up, down, up again, and back down, and that is our bike out here. So as I roll through these days out here, you can see that the weather does slightly change, right? So this is the Wednesday, 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5. Thursday, same thing, 5 a.m., 8, 11, 2, 5. Friday, you guys get the idea. So our prediction, our map, the one that we are going to be doing is going to be a northeast wind coming for you on race day. Hopefully you can see that this wind is about 10 miles an hour, a little bit more. I would suspect this is going to be slightly more. So when we go over this race plan, just keep this in mind of how we're going to attack this race. If the wind is different for you, which it probably will be, make sure you account for that on race day and adjust your plan according to that. This one is highly impacted by the wind. And if you talk to anybody that's done it in years past, they will agree with you. So this is our profile out here, about 640 feet of elevation gain. It looks like monstrous hills, but when you look at the elevation bands, they go up in 50, so not very big at all. These monster hills that you are going to be climbing out here, for the most part, as you're scrolling over this, you should see that we are under 1% for the large majority of the time. That's going to do a couple of things. On the way up, right? You're going to be able to sit in that arrow position if the weather allows. You're going to be able to push the power, push the pace out there. Your speed is still going to be able to be a little bit higher than you expect going steadily uphill. On the way back down, arrow is a huge priority yet again. Huge arrow course. As you're going down, you're going to want to go faster than you are, right? It's a false flat downhill. Do not think of it as a giant downhill. You're just going to kind of cruise all the way back to the finish. That's not going to be the case. If you do have that great tailwind, sure, fine, maybe, but I would still say you're going to have to work a little bit harder than you would think just looking at the profile out here. Once you hit the bottom over here, again, arrow is a huge priority out here. Huge, huge, huge before you climb, in quotations, back up to the turnaround point right over there. After you hit it, you steadily drop down over there, and if the wind is pushing you in, throwing you in, it's going to be an awesome experience. If it is not, it's going to be a pretty rough one, right? So that is the bike course elevation. How do we talk about that in terms of power output? So when we talk about this one, this athlete has about a 240 FTP, and they are weighing at about 155 pounds. So this is our speed. You can see it's a little bit higher because that wind is pushing north to south, right? So that rate of speed is higher as we go down. I'm going to get rid of speed because it's a little distracting out here. So let's dish now. So this power out here is pretty consistent pretty much all the way to that turnaround point out here. At that point, you're going to find another consistent patch out here till you get to that turnaround point. And what that means is you're going to start to have a headwind again. It jumps up slightly there and then it maintains, right? Drops down slightly and then you are going to the finish line over there. So this athlete with 240, they're targeting about, let's call it 217 on the way out and about 200 on the way back in. As you go out, 215 on the way out, and then on the way back, we're talking 200, 205 on the way back in. So this is a very realistic course to set up for, train with inside. It's very, very doable because there's essentially 4 giant intervals out here. Of course, there's going to be scenarios and situations where you need and have to surge. Of course, I get that. So should you, right? But for the vast majority of this race, this is an aero-dominated race. So be very, very careful about locking yourself into that position the entire time. All right, athletes that do that struggle a lot on the run course here, so make sure that is not you. Next big thing, nutrition. Because this is a aero-dominated course, a lot of athletes forget to fuel out here. They forget it. They just lock themselves in. They turn their brain off and they just go, 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 go until about mile 45, 50 on this one. And they say, oh, shoot, I forgot to do this or I underfueled. And they try to fit it all in those last 5 miles, which has negative consequences I'm sure everyone's done before. Last big thing is the wind out here. You're going to have to do wind protocol for sure. I can't tell you exactly what direction it's coming from, but in this direction, right, if we are talking about weather that's coming from this direction out here, as you're going out here, right, if we're talking about going out to that far turnaround, you are going to take your right hand off of those arrow bars to fuel, right? As you're coming back in, it's going to be your left hand off the arrow bars or whatever to fuel. So you can stabilize with the far hand. That's going to allow you to maintain speed. It's going to allow you to be a little bit more stable out there. Just a little pro tip for anyone that is racing in the wind or windy conditions out here. Just a little heads up for everyone. That's the big things on the bike, guys. It's not a very technical course. It's not a very, tight turns, exploding out. It's really not that. You get on a highway, you roll, and you turn around, you come back. So this is a really, really power-dominated bike. And what I mean by that is if you switch over to our time analysis out here, we're kind of jumping around, but Zone 3 is pretty much 2 hours and 30 minutes of our 237 bike. So just a little bit of time outside that. So we talked about it a second ago. Power. If you increase your power slightly, you're going to save 37 seconds out here. If you decrease that drag slightly, you're going to save 30 seconds out here. talking about our rolling resistance, improving. It's only going to save us 7 seconds and slightly improving your weight, having the same exact fix right there. So for me on this course, what I would like to do is really focus on my arrow position and really hit up my FTP. If I can do that, I'm saving a whopping 3-ish minutes out here on race day. Let's say I don't really make it that far. Um, I'm saving 3 minutes out here if I can do those things now. So what you should be doing is prioritizing time in that arrow position, really being able to put the power out over an X amount of time, whatever you expect to go on, at your race pace, maybe even slightly above right now. So when you get on race day, it's no big thing. Right? Cadence is going to be another huge one to battle with on race day. I can't say that specifically targeted for you individually because it's just general video, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to answer those things. Um, and so, just to kind of put it into perspective one last time, of our 640 feet of elevation gain, this steadily uphill grade, we have 188 feet of that over the course of 10 miles. Again, you'll have the exact same thing over there. So you have about, let's call it or what is that, 390 feet, 380 feet of your max elevation, total elevation coming in the form of these two things right here. Of course, the remaining is going to be carried from the little spurts of hills that are mixed throughout here, but if you have your speed up, you're not even going to really notice these guys for the most part. So that is our bike done and dusted, our run. So run, scrolling off over here. They said they had a new run course, but this is the old run course that's up here right now. So the only change that I can really see right now, and this is recording in what is this, July 7th out here. The only real change that I can see is the parking lot back here. Instead of running all the way up and down, you just cut that in half right here. That's the real change out here. But I could be wrong. I probably am. But these are the aid stations that are likely going to be happening on the course as well. Pretty spaced out, pretty even Steven for the most part. And if I believe that's 10, if I can count that right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that's 10 aid stations out there. So it's pretty consistently happening for you on race day, which is great. It's going to make fueling a little bit easier. And speaking of easy, this run has a whopping 92 feet of elevation gain. You are going to do a couple of zigzags out of the transition zone. You're going to come back, zigzag, make your way out onto that little walkway there. And again, this run is probably one of the most impacted by the elements out there. You got to think, got to go back to the weather. If it's pushing this way, which is the opposite of the bike, so if it is pushing this way, you're really exposed. There's nothing stopping that wind from just rolling off the Atlantic out there. And that could be the case. It could be driving this way. It could be coming a totally different direction. It's a very unique area out there. If that's the case, you're going to have to plan accordingly, whether that's from pacing or a fueling standpoint. There was a couple of years ago where it was a rainy, windy day. A lot of athletes didn't have the race they wanted to. They got a little too cold out there, and they just weren't prepared for it. They saw the weather, they just kind of ignored it and thought, no big deal. This race is in September, so it does have the potential to swing a couple different ways out here. So that is something to be aware of on race day. If you think you're going to be cold, just bring something to help you out. All right. Same with hot. Temperature will affect you. If it is a hot day, if there's no wind and it's just hot out there, which is a possibility, then you are going to have to respect the weather a little bit and slow down a little bit. The thing that everyone gets wrong on those flatter courses is they think PR, 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 and a lot of times that comes back to bite them big time, big, big, big time. Be very careful. Be very careful with that. All right. That is a quick little rundown of the 2025 73 New York, not Jones Beach anymore, but New York. Best of luck, everyone, this year. If they post some kind of more information or a different run course, I'll probably do a separate little thing on that here. But if you have any questions, please, please reach out. Be happy to help you with specific insights and specific things that you as the individual can do to set yourself up for race day success this year. Good luck, everybody.